So the first song I'm going to do is, well, Mr. President, pardon Leonard Peltier, and for anyone old enough to remember, there's none in here, and there's a room as old as me, but Leonard Peltier was a Native American activist from the 1960s and 70s, and there was considerable violence on the reservations. They were frequently found trying to bring new, responsiveness to the people that lived there, and the traditional tribal governments didn't want them. Anyway, in 1975, around 2 FBI agents tracked some activists, and there was a gunfight, and he and 2 other people were accused of abetting in the killing of 2 FBI agents. The 2 people that were charged with him were found not guilty, but instead Leonard ran up to Canada, and they brought him back and put him in front of a different judge in a hostile district, and they gave him a life sentence. And people have, leaders around the world have demanded his freedom, including the very prosecutor of the case. And his parole just came up about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and they have 21 days to announce whether they're going to free him or not. I don't see any prospect of them freeing Leonard, and that would be second to last of the only way he'll achieve freedom in this world, other than a presidential pardon. And my hope is that the parole board will. You'll be hearing about it in the next week and a half, because they have to announce. And short of that, Biden giving them a pardon for doing a massive concert to free Leonard Peltier, which is I'm all in favor of. Mr. President, pardon Leonard Peltier. He spent his life in prison, his trial wasn't fair. Mr. President, pardon Leonard Peltier. In prison like an animal, 45 plus years, on the Pine Ridge Reservation in 1975. Protecting his people from the goons and FBI, as many were murdered on the Pine Ridge that year. Mr. President, pardon Leonard Peltier. The trial was a travesty, he didn't have a chance. 2 agents shot dead on the Jumping Bull Ranch. Prosecution gave false testimony of the murder scene. They pinned it on Leonard as in a bad dream. Mr. President, pardon Leonard Peltier. He spent his life in prison, his trial wasn't fair. Mr. President, pardon Leonard Peltier. In prison like an animal, 45 plus years. Myrtle poured beer, a girl who testified. Lied, said she dated Lennon and said he did the crime. Later recanted, confessing her lies. Mr. President, give Leonard back his time. Rubidoux, Butler, and Peltier, all 3 charged with the crime. First 2 found not guilty, neither did no time. So they pinned it all on Leonard, someone had to pay. Mr. President, free Leonard without delay. Leonard ran from the scene, later found up north. They brought him back from Canada, they brought him back by force. They brought him back from Canada to face another judge who wanted someone to convict with a solitary grudge. Mr. President, pardon Leonard Peltier. He spent his life in prison, his trial wasn't fair. Mr. President, pardon that old chair, in prison like an animal, 45 plus years. Thank you.
So we've reached our threshold of we need to go down to 2 songs. It's okay. The two, okay.